was 65 that winter, a retired railroad carpenter by trade, living alone outside Blackwater, where the pine trees cast their shade. The snow had settled on the back roads, quiet as a whispered prayer, and the fields beyond the river lay frozen in the midnight air. Every Christmas Eve I traveled to a chapel deep within the hills, an abandoned church of weathered timber, standing silent and still. No preacher lived attended now, no congregation filled the pews. Yet once a year the doors swung open for souls carrying old truths. That December night was colder than any I could recall. Moonlight silvered every branch and painted ghosts across the snow. I stepped inside the narrow chapel, candles glowing soft and low, their light dancing on the wooden walls like memories long ago. Near the altar stood a woman with a scarf of faded blue. At first I thought she was a stranger, then I recognized who. Sarah Bell from my childhood, the first girl I ever loved, the one who left for distant cities while I stayed where I was from. Candles in the empty chapel, burning through the years, lighting corners of the heart where memory appears. Snow keeps falling softly on roads we used to know, and some names never leave us, no matter where we go. We sat together in the front row, listening to the winter wind, neither trying to recover the people we'd once been. She spoke about her travels, the places she had seen, the apartment near Chicago, and all the in-between. I talked about my workshop, the smell of cedar and pine, how life became smaller somehow, yet deeper with time. Outside the stained glass windows, the snow drifted through the dark, while old hymns seemed to linger like embers without a spark. Then Sarah handed me an envelope, yellowed by decades gone, a letter I'd written in 1970, the summer before she moved on. She'd carried it through every city, every house and every year, never answering, never losing it, keeping it somehow near. We laughed at the young man inside it, certain love could conquer miles, certain the world would wait forever for two reckless smiles. The church bell rang at midnight, a lonely sound above the snow, and for one brief hour the distance between then and now let go. Candles in the empty empty chapel, burning through the years, lighting corners of the heart where memory appears. Snow keeps falling softly on roads we used to know, and some names never leave us, no matter where we go. Soon the candles burn lower, wax pooling by their side. The moon slipped behind the clouds, and darkness filled the sky. Some meetings are not beginnings, and they're not endings too, just quiet gifts from time itself to carry us through. Candles in the empty chapel, glowing warm and small. Not every love was meant to stay, yet somehow to live it all. The snow erased our footprints by the breaking of the day, but the peace we found that winter night never faded away. At dawn the chapel stood empty, the candles finally gone. Yet every Christmas Eve I still return and sit until the morning comes.
The night we locked the Magnolia bar, one last round for yesterday. I owned the Magnolia bar for 26 years, right off a forgotten road outside Savannah. Nothing fancy, just worn oak floors, a jukebox humming through long southern nights. The regulars came like clockwork seasons, truckers, fishermen, drifters passing through. Every scratch on that wooden counter had a story somebody once left behind. Then came the letter from the county office, folded neat and cold as winter steel. The highway expansion was finally approved, and my little corner would soon disappear. That evening, I unlocked the front door slowly, knowing it would be the last time. A neon sign buzzed against the darkness, casting red reflections on the wet pavement. Rain tapped softly against the windows, like fingers reluctant to say goodbye. I poured whiskey into familiar glasses, watching old faces gather one by one. Nobody talked much about tomorrow, we all understood without speaking. An old vinyl record spun behind the bar, playing songs older than half the room. between the notes sounded honest, like truth finally losing its fear. Outside, headlights drifted down the highway, then vanished back into the rain. One last round for yesterday, boys. One more song before the lights go dim. Raise your glass to the roads we've traveled, to the people time carried with the wind. One last round for yesterday, boys, for laughter hanging thick as smoke. Some places disappear from the map, but never quite leave the soul. Near midnight a stranger stepped inside, gray coat dripping from the storm outside. For a second I didn't recognize him, then 40 years folded into one breath. It was my younger brother Tommy, the one who left after our father's funeral. No fight, no dramatic ending, just distance growing wider every year. He sat down without saying much, ordered coffee instead of whiskey. We watched the rain together in silence, two old men sharing borrowed time. The years between us filled the room, then slowly began to loosen their grip. Near closing time, he handed me a photograph, the edges curled from countless miles. There we stood beside our mother's porch, two barefoot boys chasing summer afternoons. The room grew quieter than a church, even the jukebox seemed to understand. Some wounds don't heal with explanations, only with presence and passing hours. When the clock finally reached 2 a.m., I switched off the neon for the final time. The darkness settled gently around us, not cruel, not sad, just complete. And somewhere beyond the rain clouds, the first hint of dawn waited patiently. One last round for yesterday, boys. One more song before the lights go dim. Raise your glass to the roads we've traveled, to the people time carried with the wind. One last round for yesterday, boys, for laughter hanging thick as smoke. Some places disappear from the map, but never quite leave the soul. Now the building's gone and trucks roll through where the dance floor used to stand. But sometimes memory builds its own doorway, and I walk right back through it. I hear the glasses clink softly again, hear old voices drifting through the room, and see two brothers sitting together, finally running out of reasons to stay apart. One last round for yesterday, boys. The night still echoes in my mind. The bar is gone, the sign is silent, but some goodbyes are strangely kind. One last round for yesterday, boys, for roads that circle back somehow. The years may take almost everything, but they couldn't take that night from us. The rain stopped just before sunrise, leaving silver puddles in the empty light. Tommy and I stood watching the morning come, neither of us in any hurry to leave. I owned a little jazz club downtown for nearly 27 years. The kind of place where midnight lingered and strangers drowned their fears. A trumpet cried through cigarette haze each Friday after dark, while old vinyl spun beneath soft lamps, leaving shadows on the bar. One October evening after closing, rain tapped gently on the glass. I was wiping down the counter, letting another long night pass. That's when a mirror slipped behind me, loose from its aging frame, and hidden in the dust behind it was a photograph with no name. The picture showed a young man smiling in front of this very room. The club looked new, the walls unscarred, long before the years consumed. He wore a dark suit and fedora, one hand resting on a chair, and standing just outside the picture was someone partly there. Only a woman's hand remained visible, holding tightly to his sleeve, as if the camera caught a moment it wasn't meant to keep. I turned the photo in my fingers under the amber light above, wondering who they were together and what became of their love. The man in the corner frame, still watching through the years. Time may change the faces, but it never leaves completely here. Every shadow knows a story, every wall recalls a name, and some hearts keep beating softly inside an old photograph's frame. For weeks I asked my regulars if they'd seen the face before. The retired judge, the piano man, the woman sweeping floors. Then one night an elderly waitress named Louise stopped in for wine. She stared a long while at the picture, like she was crossing time. She said the young man owned the building back in 1953, a trumpet player from New Orleans, known only as Lee. The woman was his fiancée. They planned to leave that spring, but he vanished on a riverboat without explaining anything. Louise unfolded an old letter she'd carried for decades unseen, the paper fragile as dry leaves, the handwriting faded green. Lee had written from St. Louis days before he disappeared, saying family secrets found him, things he'd hidden all those years. The letter never reached the woman, it stayed forgotten in a drawer, and she waited every season until she couldn't anymore. The rain kept falling past midnight as Louise quietly went home, leaving me alone with questions and a life I'd never known. The man in the corner frame, still watching through the years. Time may change the faces, but it never leaves completely here. Every shadow knows a story,
Every wall recalls a name, and some hearts keep beating softly inside an old photograph's frame. Near dawn I hung the photo carefully beside the bottles in the wood, not because I solved the mystery, but because remembering felt good. Outside the city lights faded into a blanket made of gray, and somewhere beyond the river the answers drifted away. The man in the corner frame still lives inside my mind, a stranger whose unfinished road was left behind by time. The years keep pouring slowly like whiskey into flame, and every night that photograph seems a little less unnamed. Now when the club grows quiet and the first pale morning starts, I look toward that corner picture and think about unfinished hearts. The suitcase under platform 9, the train that never took him home. I worked the railroad 38 long years, watching steel lines vanish into distant dark. Now I'm 71 and mostly forgotten, living above a hardware store near the tracks. One autumn evening, the station stood empty, the last commuter train already gone. A cold wind wandered through broken windows, carrying sounds from another lifetime. The platform lights flickered in tired rhythm, casting long shadows across cracked concrete. Near an old bench beneath peeling paint, I noticed a suitcase covered in dust. No tag, no lock, no name to follow, just worn brown leather and silent years. I carried it inside beneath yellow bulbs and set it gently on a wooden table. Inside were photographs tied with twine, faces smiling from another century. A young man standing beside a locomotive, a woman laughing beneath a summer sky. There was a pocket watch frozen at midnight, a train ticket dated October '58, and folded deep beneath faded clothes, a letter never sent to anyone. Outside, fog gathered along the rails, soft as breath against cold glass. I unfolded the paper with careful hands and watched the past step into the room. Some trains leave the station forever, some hearts stay waiting by the line. The whistle fades, but the longing lingers like smoke disappearing into the night. Some roads end where the map stops drawing. Some stories sleep where nobody roams. That old suitcase carried more than memories. It carried a man who never came home. The letter spoke of two lifelong friends, boys who grew up beside the river bend. One chased work across distant states, one stayed behind to care for family land. The traveler promised he'd return by Christmas, promised he'd step off the evening train. But somewhere between departure and arrival, the years unfolded in unexpected ways. No tragedy written between those lines, no villain hiding in the shadows. Just life moving faster than intentions, and silence growing heavier with time. The station clock kept ticking above me while I sat there reading every word. For months I followed scattered records, old addresses buried in forgotten files. The trail led west through dusty counties, through towns where nobody knew his name. Then one morning near the edge of spring, I found a daughter he never met. She studied those photographs in silence, tracing familiar eyes with trembling fingers. Neither of us spoke for several minutes. The room seemed too small for that moment. Some losses cannot be repaired completely, but they can finally be understood. Outside the window, daylight stretched slowly across fields shining after overnight rain. Some trains leave the station forever, some hearts stay waiting by the line. The whistle fades, but the longing lingers like smoke disappearing into the night. Some roads end where the map stops drawing. Some stories sleep when nobody roams. That old suitcase carried more than memories. It carried a man who never came home. Now when freight trains pass after midnight, their distant rumble drifts across town. I wonder how many unfinished promises ride unseen between those rolling wheels. Maybe we're all travelers in some fashion, leaving pieces of ourselves behind. And maybe what survives us longest isn't where we went, but who we touched. Some trains leave the station forever, yet their echoes remain in the steel. The years may scatter names and faces, but certain connections never fully disappear. Some roads vanish into darkness, some lights endure against all odds. That old suitcase beneath platform 9 still reminds me how close strangers are. The tracks still stretch beyond the horizon, silver beneath the coming dawn. And somewhere beyond all those miles, a journey finally found its home. The train that never took him home. I worked the railroad 38 long years. I watched him steal
was 63 that winter morning, driving county roads I knew by heart. Retired sheriff badge packed away, nothing left to chase but weather and time. The fog hung low across the fields, gray as old memories nobody asked about. A pale moon lingered above the pines, watching the world hesitate before daylight. Then I saw it standing beyond the ditch, an empty church I'd never noticed before. White paint peeling from tired boards, one crooked bell tower cutting through the mist. I parked beside a frozen pasture, pulled on my leather gloves and stepped inside. The door groaned like an old witness, ready to tell a story it carried too long. Dust drifted through narrow stained glass, painting faded colors across wooden pews. At the altar sat a small suitcase, covered in years of silence and neglect. Inside were old photographs and receipts, a wedding picture dated 1952. A smiling woman, a nervous young man, and a baby wrapped in a blanket of lace. Beneath them lay a folded letter, edges yellowed by decades gone by. The handwriting trembled across the page like someone fighting tears with every line. I read it slowly in that quiet room while the church held its breath around me. 3 bells before dawn, nobody listening. 3 echoes rolling through forgotten years. Some stories survive when people don't, floating through darkness like unanswered prayers. 3 bells before dawn, still ringing softly across the miles and the lives we lose. I stood alone in that empty church, hearing a past that refused to be through. The letter told of 2 young brothers separated after their father disappeared. One stayed behind to tend the family land, one boarded a bus and never came home. No crime, no mystery fit for headlines, just life pulling hard in different directions. The writer spent 40 years searching, leaving messages wherever hope could survive. This church became his final mailbox, a place he believed his brother might return. Every Sunday he rang those bells long after the town itself moved on. Then one winter he stopped coming and waiting settled into the walls. The sky outside began turning silver, the first light gathering beyond the fields. I carried the suitcase out to my truck, feeling the weight of strangers I somehow knew. Back in town I followed the clues, old records buried in courthouse drawers. Months later I found my missing brother's son, living 2 states away beside a river. I never asked for thanks or praise, just handed him the photographs and letter. His hand shook exactly like the writing, as if blood remembered what time forgot. 3 bells before dawn, nobody listening. 3 echoes rolling through forgotten years. Some stories survive when people don't, floating through darkness like unanswered prayers. 3 bells before dawn, still ringing softly across the miles and the lives we lose. I stood alone in that empty church, here in a past that refused to be through. Now sometimes when the night is quiet, I think about roads that nearly went unseen, how a wrong turn can become a doorway, and a stranger's sorrow can borrow your name. The fog still returns every winter, covering those fields like a worn-out blanket. But I know somewhere beyond the silence, those bells finally found who they were calling. 3 bells before dawn, no longer lonely. The sound carried farther than anyone knew. The years may scatter us like leaves in wind, but some promises keep finding their way through. 3 bells before dawn, fading gently into the glow of a brand new day. And I still hear them when morning rises, though the church itself has slipped away. And the moon was gone when I drove home, the fog lifting from the empty land. No case to solve, no badge to carry, just a story resting quietly in my hands.
Stepped off the midnight train, dark southern blues. 3 minutes at platform 9. I spent 30 years as a county sheriff in the town most maps forgot, watching freight trains cross the darkness, past the grain silos and lots. My younger brother Samuel left here back in 1982. One argument, one slammed screen door, and then he vanished from view. No letters came, no Christmas calls, no rumors worth believing true. Time settled over that old wound like dust the decades blew. Then one foggy November evening, as the station clock struck 9, a call came from the depot master saying, "Sheriff, you should come by." Platform slept beneath the mist, a lonely train stood breathing steam, its windows glowing pale and golden like fragments from a dream. Passengers drifted into darkness, one by one and row by row, until a tall man in a wool coat stepped down slow. His hair was silver, shoulders weary, a leather glove in either hand. But I'd have known those eyes anywhere, even after all that span. Neither one of us said much at first. The years stood heavy in between. The whistle echoed through the valley while we stared across the scene. 3 minutes at platform 9, that's all the night would give. Enough to face the ghost we carried, enough to learn how they lived. The train kept waiting in the fog. The moon hung low and thin, and all the roads we thought were ended curved back again. We found a diner near the station, a wooden booth beside the glass. The waitress poured black coffee quietly and let the silence pass. Samuel spoke about Montana, a fishing boat off Oregon shore, a marriage that lasted 7 summers and lasted no more. I listened like a man reading pages lost somewhere long ago, trying to find the missing chapters only brothers know. Outside headlights crossed the pavement and vanished into gray, like every year we'd spent apart, driving separate ways. Then he reached into his jacket and laid an envelope on the table. Inside were photographs of our parents taken before they became fragile. One showed our father by the river, teaching us to skip stones flat. Another caught our mother laughing before illness entered that. I should have come back sooner, he whispered, staring at the steaming cup. I looked through the old photographs and finally looked up. Some regrets arrived too late for fixing, but not too late for truth. The fog beyond the diner window seemed to soften as we spoke. 3 minutes at platform 9, that's all the night would give. Enough to face the ghosts we carried, enough to learn how they lived. The train kept waiting in the fog. The moon hung low and thin, and all the roads we thought were ended curved back again. Near dawn we walked beside the tracks, past signals painted red. The first light touched the rails with gold, and words we never said. No grand forgiveness filled the air, no miracle arrived, just 2 aging men discovering some bombs survive. I spent most of my life on the Mississippi, working tugboats up and down the shore. By 68 my hands were weathered like driftwood worn by storms before. One autumn night I found myself sitting beside a river I'd known for years, a bottle of whiskey near my boots, and enough silence to hear old fears. The moon hung low beyond the current, silver trembling on the waves, while fog crawled slowly from the water like something rising from a grave. I hadn't been back to that river bend since 1984, the year my closest friend disappeared and never walked ashore. Around the edges, quick to laugh and quick to fight. We worked together, hauling cargo through endless southern nights. The last time that I saw him, we tied up near this very place. He said he needed air and solitude, then vanished without a trace. The sheriff searched the shoreline, divers combed the river floor. Weeks became months, then decades, and nobody looked anymore. Yet every year the memories surfaced like a bell beneath the tide. Some questions never drown completely, no matter how deep they hide. Where the water turned black and the moon touched the stream, a piece of yesterday lingered between memory and dream. The river carried many stories far beyond the county line, but one remained beneath the current for all this time. That night I wandered through the reeds, past broken docks and fallen beams, toward an abandoned boathouse, half swallowed by the weeds. Inside, beneath collapsed rafters, lay a wooden chest coated in dust. The lock had long surrendered to rain and years and rust. There I found an old pocket watch, stopped at 3:10. A leather wallet, worn and faded, and a photograph of Tommy and me. Folded underneath the picture was a letter, stained and thin, addressed to no one living now, yet somehow meant for him. The letter spoke of hidden debts and
trouble he couldn't outrun. Men from another state pursuing him for things he'd once done. He hadn't drowned that summer. He had boarded a freight train west, trying to spare his family from the weight upon his chest. The chest had been left behind in haste, the truth buried by the years, while the river guarded patiently its cargo of regrets and fears. I sat beside the water till dawn, reading every fragile line, watching first light reach the shoreline, like forgiveness arriving on time. Where the water turned black and the moon touched the stream, a piece of yesterday lingered between memory and dream. The river carried many stories far beyond the county line, but one remained beneath the current for all this time. The fog dissolved into morning, the whiskey bottle stood untouched. Some answers don't bring closure, they simply change the touch of memories we carry forward through seasons yet unseen, like quiet currents underneath us, moving between. Where the water turned black, now the sunlight touched the shore, and the mystery I'd carried didn't weigh the same anymore. The river kept a secret until it chose release, and somewhere beyond the horizon I hope my friend found peace.
I was 65 that winter, a retired railroad carpenter by trade, living alone outside Blackwater, where the pine trees cast their shade. The snow had settled on the back roads, quiet as a whispered prayer. Fields beyond the river lay frozen in the midnight air. Every Christmas Eve I'd travel to a chapel deep within the hills, an abandoned church of weathered timber, standing silent and still. No preacher lived attended now, no congregation filled the pews. Yet once a year the doors swung open for souls carrying old truths. That December night was colder than any I could recall. Moonlight silvered every branch and painted ghosts across the snow. I stepped inside the narrow chapel, candles glowing soft and low, their light dancing on the wooden walls like memories long ago. Near the altar stood a woman with a scarf of faded blue. At first I thought she was a stranger, then I recognized who. Sarah Bell from my childhood, the first girl I ever loved, the one who left for distant cities while I stayed where I was from. Candles in the empty chapel, burning through the years, lighting corners of the heart where memory appears. Snow keeps falling softly on roads we used to know, and some names never leave us, no matter where we go. We sat together in the front row, listening to the winter wind, neither trying to recover the people we'd once been. She spoke about her travels, the places she had seen, the apartment near Chicago, and all the in-between. I talked about my workshop, the smell of cedar and pine, how life became smaller somehow, yet deeper with time. Outside the stained glass windows, the snow drifted through the dark, while old hymns seemed to linger like embers without a spark. Then Sarah handed me an envelope, yellowed by decades gone, a letter I'd written in 1970, the summer before she moved on. She'd carried it through every city, every house and every year, never answering, never losing it, keeping it somehow near. We laughed at the young man inside it, certain love could conquer miles, certain the world would wait forever for two reckless smiles. The church bell rang at midnight, a lonely sound above the snow, and for one brief hour the distance between then and now let go. Candles in the empty chapel, burning through the years, lighting corners of the heart where memory appears. Snow keeps falling softly on roads we used to know, and some names never leave us, no matter where we go. Soon the candles burn lower, wax pooling by their side. The moon slipped behind the clouds, and darkness filled the sky. Some meetings are not beginnings, and they're not endings too, just quiet gifts from time itself to carry us through.
Candles in the empty chapel,
glowing warm and small. Not every love was meant to stay, yet somehow to live it all. The snow erased our footprints by the breaking of the day, but the peace we found that winter night never faded away. At dawn the chapel stood empty, the candles finally gone. Yet every Christmas Eve I still return and sit until the morning comes.
The night we locked the Magnolia bar, one last round for yesterday. I owned the Magnolia bar for 26 years, right off a forgotten road outside Savannah. Nothing fancy, just worn oak floors, a jukebox humming through long southern nights. The regulars came like clockwork seasons, truckers, fishermen, drifters passing through. Every scratch on that wooden counter had a story somebody once left behind. Then came the letter from the county office, folded neat and cold as winter steel. The highway expansion was finally approved, and my little corner would soon disappear. That evening, I unlocked the front door slowly, knowing it would be the last time. A neon sign buzzed against the darkness, casting red reflections on the wet pavement. Rain tapped softly against the windows, like fingers reluctant to say goodbye. I poured whiskey into familiar glasses, watching old faces gather one by one. Nobody talked much about tomorrow, we all understood without speaking. An old vinyl record spun behind the bar, playing songs older than half the room. The crackle between the notes sounded honest, like truth finally losing its fear. Outside, headlights drifted down the highway, then vanished back into the rain. Yesterday, boys, one more song before the lights go dim. Raise your glass to the roads we've traveled, to the people time carried with the wind. One last round for yesterday, boys, for laughter hanging thick as smoke. Some places disappear from the map, but never quite leave the soul. Near midnight a stranger stepped inside, gray coat dripping from the storm outside. For a second I didn't recognize him, then 40 years folded into one breath. It was my younger brother Tommy, the one who left after our father's funeral. No fight, no dramatic ending, just distance growing wider every year. He sat down without saying much, ordered coffee,
instead of whiskey. We watched the rain together in silence, two old men sharing borrowed time. The years between us filled the room and slowly began to loosen their grip. Near closing time, he handed me a photograph. The edges curled from countless miles. There we stood beside our mother's porch, two barefoot boys chasing summer afternoons. The room grew quieter than a church. Even the jukebox seemed to understand. Some wounds don't heal with explanations, only with presence and passing hours. When the clock finally reached 2 a.m., I switched off the neon for the final time. The darkness settled gently around us, not cruel, not sad, just complete. And somewhere beyond the rain clouds, the first hint of dawn waited patiently. One last round for yesterday, boys. One more song before the lights go dim. Raise your glass to the roads we've traveled, to the people time carried with the wind. One last round for yesterday, boys, for laughter hanging thick as smoke. Some places disappear from the map, but never quite leave the soul. Now the building's gone and trucks roll through where the dance floor used to stand. But sometimes memory builds its own doorway, and I walk right back through it. I hear the glasses clink softly again, hear old voices drifting through the room, and see two brothers sitting together, finally running out of reasons to stay apart. One last round for yesterday, boys. The night still echoes in my mind. The bar is gone, the sign is silent, but some goodbyes are strangely kind. One last round for yesterday, boys, for roads that circle back somehow. The years may take almost everything, but they couldn't take that night from us. The rain stopped just before sunrise, leaving silver puddles in the empty light. Tommy and I stood watching the morning come, neither of us in any hurry to leave. The night we locked the Magnolia Bar for 26 years.
I owned a little jazz club downtown for nearly 27 years. The kind of place where midnight lingered and strangers drowned their fears. A trumpet cried through cigarette haze each Friday after dark, while old vinyl spun beneath soft lamps, leaving shadows on the bar. One October evening after closing, rain tapped gently on the glass. I was wiping down the counter, letting another long night pass. That's when a mirror slipped behind me, loose from its aging frame, and hidden in the dust behind it was a photograph with no name. picture showed a young man smiling in front of this very room. The club looked new, the walls unscarred, long before the years consumed. He wore a dark suit and fedora, one hand resting on a chair, and standing just outside the picture was someone partly there. Only a woman's hand remained visible, holding tightly to his sleeve, as if the camera caught a moment it wasn't meant to keep. I turned the photo in my fingers under the amber light above, wondering who they were together and what became of their love. The man in the corner frame, still watching through the years. Time may change the faces, but it never leaves completely here. Every shadow knows a story, every wall recalls a name, and some hearts keep beating softly inside an old photograph's frame. For weeks I asked my regulars if they'd seen the face before. The retired judge, the piano man, the woman sweeping floors. Then one night an elderly waitress named Louise stopped in for wine. She stared a long while at the picture, like she was crossing time. She said the young man owned the building back in 1953, a trumpet player from New Orleans, known only as Lee. The woman was his fiancée. They planned to leave that spring, but he vanished on a riverboat without explaining anything. Louise unfolded an old letter she'd carried for decades unseen, the paper fragile as dry leaves, the handwriting faded green. Lee had written from St. Louis days before he disappeared, saying family secrets found him, things he'd hidden all those years. The letter never reached the woman, it stayed forgotten in a drawer, and she waited every season until she couldn't anymore. The rain kept falling past midnight as Louise quietly went home, leaving me alone with questions and a life I'd never known. The man in the corner frame, still watching through the years. Time may change the faces, but it never leaves completely here. Every shadow knows a story, every wall recalls a name, and some hearts keep beating softly inside an old photograph's frame. Near dawn I hung the photo carefully beside the bottles in the wood, not because I solved the mystery, but because remembering felt good. Outside the city lights faded into a blanket made of gray, and somewhere beyond the river the answers drifted away. The man in the corner frame still lives inside my mind,
stranger whose unfinished road was left behind by time. The years keep pouring slowly, like whiskey into flame. And every night that photograph seems a little less unnamed. Now when the club grows quiet and the first pale morning starts, I look toward that corner picture and think about unfinished hearts.
The suitcase under platform 9, the train that never took him home. I worked the railroad 38 long years, watching steel lines vanish into distant dark. Now I'm 71 and mostly forgotten, living above a hardware store near the tracks. One autumn evening, the station stood empty, the last commuter train already gone. A cold wind wandered through broken windows, carrying sounds from another lifetime. The platform lights flickered in tired rhythm, casting long shadows across cracked concrete. Near an old bench beneath peeling paint, I noticed a suitcase covered in dust. No tag, no lock, no name to follow, just worn brown leather and silent years. I carried it inside beneath yellow bulbs and set it gently on a wooden table. Inside were photographs tied with twine, faces smiling from another century. A young man standing beside a locomotive, a woman laughing beneath a summer sky. There was a pocket watch frozen at midnight, a train ticket dated October '58, and folded deep beneath faded clothes, a letter never sent to anyone. Outside, fog gathered along the rails, soft as breath against cold glass. I unfolded the paper with careful hands and watched the past step into the room. Some trains leave the station forever, some hearts stay waiting by the line. The whistle fades, but the longing lingers like smoke disappearing into the night. Some roads end where the map stops drawing, some stories sleep where nobody roams. That old suitcase carried more than memories, it carried a man who never came home. The letter spoke of two lifelong friends, boys who grew up beside the river bend. One chased work across distant states, one stayed behind to care for family land. The traveler promised he'd return by Christmas, promised he'd step off the evening train. But somewhere between departure and arrival, the years unfolded in unexpected ways. No tragedy written between those lines, no villain hiding in the shadows. Just life moving faster than intentions, and silence growing heavier with time. The station clock kept ticking above me while I sat there reading every word. For months I followed scattered records, old addresses buried in forgotten files. The trail led west through dusty counties, through towns where nobody knew his name. Then one morning near the edge of spring, I found a daughter he never met. She studied those photographs in silence, tracing familiar eyes with trembling fingers. Neither of us spoke for several minutes. The room seemed too small for that moment. Some losses cannot be repaired completely, but they can finally be understood. Outside the window, daylight stretched slowly across fields shining after overnight rain. Some trains leave the station forever. Some hearts stay waiting by the line. The whistle fades, but the longing lingers like smoke disappearing into the night. Some roads end where the map stops drawing. Some stories sleep when nobody roams. That old suitcase carried more than memories. It carried a man who never came home. Now when freight trains pass after midnight, their distant rumble drifts across town. I wonder how many unfinished promises ride unseen between those rolling wheels. Maybe we're all travelers in some fashion, leaving pieces of ourselves behind. And maybe what survives us longest isn't where we went, but who we touched. Some trains leave the station forever, yet their echoes remain in the steel. The years may scatter names and faces, but certain connections never fully disappear. Some roads vanish into darkness, some lights endure against all odds. That old suitcase beneath platform 9 still reminds me how close strangers are. The tracks still stretch beyond the horizon, silver beneath the coming dawn. And somewhere beyond all those miles, a journey finally found its home. The train that never took him home. I worked the railroad 38 long years. I watched steel lines vanish into distant dark. Now 71, mostly forgotten living. I was 63 that winter morning, driving county roads I knew by heart. Retired sheriff badge packed away, nothing left to chase but weather and time. The fog hung low across the fields, gray as old memories nobody asked about. A pale moon lingered above the pines, watching the world hesitate before daylight. Then I saw it standing beyond the ditch, an empty church I'd never noticed before. White paint peeling from tired boards, one crooked bell tower cutting through the mist. I parked beside a frozen pasture, pulled on my leather gloves and stepped inside. The door groaned like an old witness, ready to tell a story it carried too long. Dust drifted through narrow stained glass, painting faded colors across wooden pews. At the altar sat a small suitcase covered in years of silence and neglect. Inside were old photographs and receipts, a wedding picture dated 1952. A smiling woman, a nervous young man, and a baby wrapped in a blanket of lace. Beneath them lay a folded letter, edges yellowed by decades gone by. The handwriting trembled across the page like someone fighting tears with every line. I read it slowly in that quiet room while the church held its breath around me. 3 bells before dawn, nobody listening. 3 echoes rolling through forgotten years. Some stories survive when people don't, floating through darkness like unanswered prayers. 3 bells before dawn, still ringing softly across the miles and the lives we lose. I stood alone in that empty church, hearing a past that refused to be through. The letter told of 2 young brothers separated after their father disappeared. One stayed behind to tend the family land, one boarded a bus and never came home. No crime, no mystery fit for headlines, just life pulling hard in different directions. The writer spent 40 years searching, leaving messages wherever hope could survive. This church became his final mailbox, a place he believed his brother might return. Every Sunday he rang those bells long after the town itself moved on. Then one winter he stopped coming and waiting settled into the walls. The sky outside began turning silver, the first light gathering beyond the fields. I carried the suitcase out to my truck, feeling the weight of strangers I somehow knew. Back in town I followed the clues, old records buried in courthouse drawers. Months later I found the missing brother's son, living 2 states away beside a river. I never asked for thanks or praise, just handed him the photographs and letter. His hand shook exactly like the writing, as if blood remembered what time forgot. 3 bells before dawn, nobody listening. 3 echoes rolling through forgotten years. Some stories survive when people don't, floating through darkness like unanswered prayers. 3 bells before dawn, still ringing softly across the miles and the lives we lose. I stood alone in that empty church, Sometimes when the night is quiet, I think about roads that nearly went unseen. How a wrong turn can become a doorway, and a stranger's sorrow can borrow your name. The fog still returns every winter, covering those fields like a worn-out blanket. But I know somewhere beyond the silence, those bells finally found who they were calling. 3 bells before dawn, no longer lonely. The sound carried farther than anyone knew. The years may scatter us like leaves in wind, but some promises keep finding their way through. 3 bells before dawn, fading gently into the glow of a brand new day. And I still hear them when morning rises, though the church itself has slipped away. And the moon was gone when I drove home, the fog lifting from the empty land. No case to solve, no badge to carry, just a story resting quietly in my